Everybody, it's been a long week and now it's time to take out the trash. Oh my God, the chat has blown up with those garbage people emojis. So my garbage is going to be this robot doing a bad job of trying to pass for human. Mark Zuckerberg. You want to know what the human species is? We chose that this guy should be one of the most powerful people in history. We did that. But why? Why? Not just for all the normal reasons, and certainly on any given week, there's a good case for him to be in there. No, it has to do with Steve Bannon. And when just a couple of weeks ago, Steve Bannon on his podcast said this.
And that's the second term. Second term kicks off with firing Wray, firing Fauci. Now, I actually want to go a step farther, but I realize the president is a kind-hearted man and a good man. I'd actually like to go back to the old times of Tudor England. I'd put the heads on pikes, right? I'd put them at the two corners of the White House as a warning to federal bureaucrats. You either get with the program or you're gone. Time to stop playing games, blow it all out.
Okay, Steve Bannon, who is not just a regular right-wing blowhard of the YouTube variety or the Fox News, or the OANN or whatever. He was very closely tied to Trump, still pops up on their radar, very influential Republican, is saying that the head of the FBI and Dr. Fauci, for some reason, should be executed and beheaded. That is what he is advising the president to do. And that wasn't enough for him to get in trouble with Facebook. Zuckerberg, who had an all hands meeting recently, told Facebook staffers that Steve Bannon had not violated enough of the company's policies to justify his suspension from the platform, saying, quote, "We have specific rules around how many times you need to violate certain policies before we will deactivate your account completely. While the offenses here, I think, came close to crossing that line, they clearly did not cross the line. So it's not enough to call for public officials to be murdered and beheaded. You gotta do it a couple more times. How many times? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see as it keeps happening. What?
This is the logic at play here, just from a computer programmer standpoint, because that's what he is so stupid. His logic, if applied to the American criminal system, would be you need to break laws enough times for us to put you in jail, not severe crimes. That's what we all use, and there are some ways where it's like recidivism. Recidivism rate affects how much we put you away for. There is a way that we factor that in, but man, it's not how many times. There are plenty of ways you can violate terms of service or laws where we look around and say, okay, that's enough. That one was a big enough transgression. So whether his logic applies accurately to Biden, to Bannon or not, I'm just saying, like, when this is what I get frustrated with from major tech companies is when the people that, as you say, we trust to be the big, huge influencers in the world. His logic says that the only factor is frequency of violation of terms of service and does not take into account severity of violation. And that's just so damn stupid.
Yeah, well, and also probably not real. I agree with you, severity matters. I think we could have the meth principle, Steve Bannon calling for beheadings, not even once. I think we can all agree on that, but that's not what this is. Any random person who had done that would have had their account suspended. They do take into account severity, but we also have to take into account how severely attached they are to the right and how protective they are of the right's interests. And this is not the first bit of information about this. I mean, we did stories over the past few months about the fact that whistleblowers have shown that the constant lying and misinformation that would normally get you flagged, when it comes to people like Diamond and Silk, the top level management of Facebook would step in and say, no, we're not going to give them a strike. We're gonna let it pass because of who they are, because of what they believe, and the fact that they'll complain and say that they're being mean to the right if they were to ban them. And it is possible to. Twitter banned Bannon as a result of exactly the video that we just showed you there, but not Facebook, because Facebook has Mark Zuckerberg. And whether it's because of like complete weakness and lack of humanity, or indeed because he explicitly aligns himself, even in his own mind, with the right, they are always going to go easier on them.
That's so, yeah. I get it. And it's if I were to offer advice to Facebook, is like, you're becoming the Yahoo. Like Google was the cool one, Facebook was the cool one, Yahoo was the one that like catered to grandparents and used that, and their executives were always just a little out of touch and weird about stuff. And you were like, I just don't think that they're making the right decisions right now. And Facebook is, to me, becoming the Yahoo. They're catering to a certain population that it makes them feel like they're out of touch. And what's frustrating with that is I do believe that that's how Facebook is right now, but the Democratic establishment isn't acknowledging that and isn't acting accordingly. If you said like, yo, you want the same people who use Yahoo Mail, they'd be like, yes, that is our bread and butter. So why aren't you going after them there? Do it. That's who's using it. I saw there's like a shower thought that was trending on Reddit today that was like, as older people misuse the internet, the idea of parental control takes on a completely different meaning. And that's what I think is happening.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, and my final point is, look, he's not a garbage person just because of this. That is bad enough. It is that, as we were just talking about, we're in a time when there are a lot of crazy, violent people. We have leadership, we have conspiracy theories that have laid the groundwork for the utter demonization and dehumanization of more and more Americans, and Republican leaders that are at least willing to give a wink and a nudge to these theories. We have people who are on the precipice and have already committed acts of terror and acts that have been foiled, thankfully, at the last minute. And Facebook is telling us, no, if you make these sorts of threats, be powerful. If you're powerful, it'll be okay. We're not gonna put you in any sort of trouble as a result of that. And by the way, someone in the Twitch chat, Global Astro says, proof of the point, David Pakman apparently got demonetized for discussing that Bannon clip, but Bannon didn't get banned. That I didn't know that, but if that is true, that is an amazing demonstration of how much they cater the right wing.
We had to pull the clip itself out of our, TY, the Young Turks channel video before we posted it, because between when we shot it and when we uploaded it, it got banned. And they use, and so and there's a lot of like things that are maybe practical, but definitely don't hold logically. Like they do Content ID software. So if you use, even though legally your claim would hold up to be able to use certain content, frequently these channels, they basically say you're using it at all. You're using a clip at all. You are just as bad as the person who made the clip. When obviously the news uses clips all the time to discuss things in the zeitgeist. But to avoid it, because we know how clunky their systems are, we just pulled it out and put up a slate saying like, this got banned by YouTube, take our word for it. He said to decapitate 2 people.
Exactly.
And it's sad too, because I just want to say like his set, he has like a where's Hunter thing where we saw Hunter, we know where he is. And then if you look over Bannon's shoulder on his TV screen, he doesn't even have like a monitor with his logo or anything on it. It's like up next, Antebellum Man is there, and the Good Doctor is up next. Hit OK to discover more. Do you want to watch the
just
good
a TV?
He was just watching TV. This is your show, man.
I mean, that's supposed to appeal to, I guess,
like Donald Trump. What if over your shoulder it was like, up next, House for the 700th time, John? Would you like to know more?
No, it's just like it's like paused on the DVD menu of signs.
Everyone
like it has nothing to do with anything.
Everyone's just watching for the DVD logo to hit the corner the whole time.
Oh, I gotta do that. No, your wife would lose it. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.